Okay.
Turn it off, you press it again.
We have a little show for you tonight. There'll be a very short intermission because we have a few people to thank during that intermission. I won't start off thanking them yet. I believe that music paves the way for a grateful heart to say thank you, and then I can speak. Okay, the first number tonight is from Showboat. It is sung by Marissa Katz and Bill Lagandino, and it is called You Are Love. Thank you. As you know, came to America and wrote a magnificent piece, which is very American flavor, called the New World Symphony, and a lot of people thought he was American. But he's Czech. Is there anybody here who can speak Czech? Bad luck. But this is from a Czech opera called Rusalka. It is the story of a water nymph who, like all people of the spiritual world, are immortal. And she falls in love with a handsome young man, and she goes to the witch of the lake to ask for help because she's prepared to sacrifice her immortality to have this brief moment of life with this man she loves. And she looks into the sky. Now let me gaze and see if I've got a full moon face. No, unfortunately, so you're going to have to imagine, as Sun Yang sings this aria, where the moon is. And she sings Rusalka as she sees the moon's reflection in the water. Oh, silver moon, in the sky above, wandering through the drifting clouds, watching and knowing all mankind. Oh, silver moon, watch over my lover. Tell him that there's one here who loves him. And should he wake, wishing me near him, then, moon, shine on him, and let him know I love him. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a few seats in here if you find it difficult standing out there. This is the time to come in, and we're going to take this opportunity while you're moving in here to open a few of the windows. From little Japan in New York City is Grace Alves as Madama Butterfly and Jared Giesler as the American consul Sharpless. I think most of you know the story of Madame Butterfly, but briefly, the young Lieutenant Pinkerton has decided he will marry for 999 years, have a house for 999 years, and the contract is broken the moment his ship leaves Japan. That is Japanese law at that time. And so he has seduced this beautiful little Cho-Cho-san, also known as Madama Butterfly, so named by Pinkerton because she is such a delicate little flower. And he's been gone for some time, and Sharpless, the American consul, is bringing a letter to Butterfly, and he starts to read the letter. Butterfly becomes very excited and keeps interrupting, and he goes on to read in the letter and say, "Preparala al colpo," to prepare her for the blow. She says, "What blow? Tell me now, what is it?" And he cannot continue, and he says, "What a devil of a Pinkerton. Tell me, Madama Butterfly, what would you do if Pinkerton were never to return?" And she says, "Two things. Both of them are a very bad choice. Both of them end in death." And she says he will come back for this and gets the child. Sharpless didn't know that a child came out of this union, and he looks at the child and says, "Eishu, is it his?" And she said, "Did you ever see a Japanese baby with blue eyes?" And eventually Sharpless says, "What's his name?" And Butterfly says, "His name has been Sorrow. But when his father returns, it will be joy, joy, joy." Thank you.
Anche lui l'ha contati,
e forse
butterfly, non mi rammenta più.
Non lo rammento, sozzo che dirlo tu. Non mi rammenta più.
Pazienza, se mi vuol bene ancora, se m'aspetta,
Tu benedetta,
a voi mi raccomando, perché vogliate con circospezione prepararla
ritorna.
al colpo.
Quando? Presto, presto!
Benone, qui troncarla conviene quel diavolo d'un Pinkerton. Ebbene, che fareste, Madama Butterfly, se non dovesse ritornar più mai?
Due cose potrei far: tornar a divertire la gente col cantar, oppur
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to laugh away. Rodolfo has just met Mimi. Until now, they've been completely in the dark. Mimi came upstairs as a stranger to borrow a light. Her candle goes out. Rodolfo's too poor, he has no matches. There is absolutely no light at all, and they talk to each other entirely in the dark. But in talking to each other, they reveal a lot about themselves, and they fall in love. And then Rodolfo hears his friends calling to him from the street below, "What's keeping you? We're going to Cafe Momus." And Rodolfo sings out, "Well, there's two of us up here." And from the street below, they sing out, "The poet's found his love." And he turns from the window, and there is a full shaft of moonlight shining upon Mimi, and it is the first time he's seen her in her real glory, and he's almost struck speechless. And all he can say is, "Oh, soave fanciulla, oh, you wonderful creature, you are the dream I have always dreamed." Thank you.
In terra viso
Bravo. Now,
Nana wants you. Your phone, someone's trying to call you. Nana wants you.
I
very attractive girl in the black dress who didn't sing a number. Well, she'd only been with us for 1 week. But now she's been with us for several weeks, and her name is Laura Supagavel. And she will sing an old Cole Porter favorite. What is the name of that song?
It's an old favorite, though.
It's an old favorite.
This is my beloved from Kismet. Thank you. Now we come to Eric Korngold, the prolific Hollywood writer, who wrote a beautiful opera called Die Tote Stadt, the Dead City. And in this opera, it is set in the town of Bruges in Belgium. And Paul has lost his wife for a year. He's been mourning. And as he's walking the foggy city of Bruges, he meets this girl in the street, and he's struck by her likeness to his dead wife, and he asks her to come up and see the painting. Normally, you can't ask a girl up to see your etchings, but not a painting. And he says, I hear you are a singer. And she says, yes, soll ich, shall I? And she sings, Glück, das mir verblieb, rück zu mir mein treues Lieb. Happiness that has stayed by me, come back to me, my true love. And as she sings, Paul becomes very disturbed, because it's as if his wife has come back to life. He is so like the dead wife. And she says, what disturbs you? And he says words to the effect, ich habe das Lied oft gehört in junger schöneren Tagen. I have heard that song often in my young and better days. Can I remember it? I think I can. And he starts to sing, and she joins him, and in this song, they come together. It's a mutual attraction. And at that point, Paul is very vulnerable, and he falls deeply in love. Thank you.
Erträglich, sagt man, wenn's auch mein Fach nicht ist. Ein trauriges am Leben.
The other day, Fury for Michael and Christina Oster. The occasion was a surprise birthday party for Christina. How she could be surprised with about 100 cars in the driveway escapes me. But it was a surprise party, and she's a much better actress than anybody we have in our company. Anyhow, as part of that little story that we wove about Michael's courtship with Christina, there were a lot of Disney tunes in it, and at one stage, just after Michael has met Christina and before he's made his fortune, he sighs and says to himself, "Oh, if I were a rich man."
Dear God, you made many, many poor people. I know, it's no shame to be poor. But it's not a great honor either. So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune? If I were a rich man, if I were a wealthy man, wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a bitty rich, idle man, I'd feel a big door out with rooms by the dozen, right in the middle of the town. A fine roof with real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going out, one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can. And each loud crank out and like a trumpet on the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. If I were a rich man, I'd see my wife, my golden, looking like a rich man's wife with a proper double chin, sober eyes in muse to her heart's delight. I see her putting on airs and strutting like a peacock. Oi, what a happy mood she's in, screaming at her servants day and night. The most important in town will come to follow me. They will ask me to advise them, like a Solomon the wise. If you please, Reptavia, pardon me, Reptavia, but in problems I will grow otherwise five. And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know. If I were land. If I were a wealthy man.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our girl in black is back again, but this time she's dying. Because she's playing the part of Violetta in La Traviata, and she's really only got about half an hour to live. And her lover, who was deceived into leaving her, comes back and he gives her false hope, and with all her strength rising within her, they sing Parigio cara. Paris, my darling, we shall leave this place. We shall go back to the provinces where you were healthy, where the sun did you so much good, and where our love did us both good. Thank you.
Parigio cara, noi lasceremo la vita uniti, trascorreremo dei corsi affanni, compenso avrai la tua salute rifiorirà. Sospiro e luce, tu mi sarai tutto il futuro. Ne arriderà.
from these days, the pearl fishermen, which is set in Ceylon, now called Sri Lanka. And two fishermen are washed up on shore after a very heavy storm, almost a tsunami. And they recognize the shore as one that they were washed up on some years before, and they saw everyone going to prayers. And they followed the people, and there, from the very depths of the temple, they saw this magnificent, beautiful apparition up here. It was a high priestess, and everyone went down on bended knee and worshipped her like a goddess. And they both fell in love with that goddess. And they both fell out of love with each other. And now the storm has brought them back together again. One has rescued the other, and they recall this very event that caused the enmity of this very good friendship to happen. And in their mind's eye, they see this girl from the depths of the temple. So here is Bill and Jarrett to sing about this strange adventure that happened to these two fishermen some years before. Thank you.